Hello and welcome to Football Daily, and today we're looking at 10 times footballers got their own back on their rivals. 10. Arsenal on Emmanuel Adebayor. A £3 million signing from Monaco, Emmanuel Adebayor became one of the Premier League's deadliest strikers at Arsenal, netting 24 in the top flight in 2008. But Man City enticed him to the north with a £25 million bid and the offer of wages in excess of £100k a week. Arsenal fans called the Togolese a mercenary and a traitor, and he took his revenge after scoring against his old club at the Etihad, running the length of the field to celebrate in front of the away supporters in a 4-2 win. 3 years on, Adebayor had moved to Spurs and scored against Arsenal to take the lead at the Emirates. But 7 minutes later, he was sent off for a dirty challenge on Santi Cazorla and waited in the dressing room as the Gunners dished out a 5-2 thrashing, the second time they'd beaten Spurs by that scoreline in 9 months. 9. Fernando Morientes on Real Madrid. In 2003, after 6 years at Real Madrid, striker Fernando Morientes was surplus to requirements. The Spaniard had won 2 titles and 3 Champions Leagues with Los Merengues, but Raúl and Ronaldo were keeping him out of the team, and he was loaned out to Monaco. 10 goals in 28 league games was good if unremarkable, and it seemed only fair that Morientes had been sent out to France. But in the Champions League quarter-finals, Monaco came up against Real, and Morientes took his shot. He scored in both legs, outshining the stars of Madrid and knocking out Los Blancos on away goals. Monaco made the final, but Morientes was denied a 4th medal by Mourinho's Porto. Nonetheless, he had made his point, finishing as the competition's top scorer with 9 goals, above Henry, Van Nistelrooy and Ronaldo, his replacement at the Bernabeu. 8 and 7. Kieran Gibbs and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain on Andre Marriner. Arsenal colleagues Kieran Gibbs and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain both started in Arsenal's 6-0 humbling at the hands of Chelsea back in 2014, but only the Ox made it past the 15-minute mark after Gibbs suffered a bizarre red card. Oxlade-Chamberlain, covering in defence, had handballed an Eden Hazard shot around the post, but referee Andre Marriner mixed up the 2 players, sending Gibbs off and leaving the guilty man on the pitch. So when the 2 English internationals took on the Ice Bucket Challenge, remember that, a few months later, they decided to nominate the blundering official.
Both of us, Andre Marriner.
Fair play to Marriner, he went through with it, though, true to form, he screwed up Oxlade-Chamberlain's name.
Having been nominated by Kieran Gibbs and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
6. Patrice Evra on Luis Suarez. Liverpool and Man United have always enjoyed a tense local rivalry, but in 2011 it took an unsavoury turn as Luis Suarez clashed with Patrice Evra in a 1-1 draw at Anfield. Evra claimed afterwards that Suarez had repeatedly racially abused him during the game, leading the FA to fine the Uruguayan £40,000 and ban him for 8 matches. The enemies met again the following February at Old Trafford, and Suarez controversially refused to shake hands with the Frenchman before the game. Suarez scored, but United ran out 2-1 winners, and Evra celebrated enthusiastically right in front of Suarez. But that wasn't the end of the rivalry, as we'll see later on. 5. Ex-Real stars on Real Madrid. In 2009, Real Madrid bought Kaká and Cristiano Ronaldo for a combined €160 million, and to make space for their superstars, they needed to sell. Dutchman Wesley Sneijder and Arjen Robben were the fall guys, exiting to Inter Milan and Bayern Munich respectively, and sending just €40 million back to Madrid. Both players had phenomenal seasons at their new clubs, winning domestic doubles, and Sneijder came in 4th for the 2010 Ballon d'Or, 2 places above Cristiano Ronaldo. But the real insult came in the Champions League. Real exited at the round of 16, while Inter and Bayern went all the way to the final, which was held at Madrid's Bernabeu. Inter won 2-0, and Sneijder gave a victory lap of the stadium he'd been booted out of a year earlier, while Robben had taken the first step in an incredible career in Germany. Florentino Perez must have been choking on his tapas. 4. Mino Raiola on Alex Ferguson. There are 1 or 2 football agents I simply do not like, and Mino Raiola is one of them, said Alex Ferguson in his autobiography. But it never occurred to the all-powerful Scotsman that his enmity with the Dutch wheeler-dealer could hurt him until Paul Pogba came along. When the Frenchman was still a trainee at United in 2012, Raiola met with Ferguson to negotiate a new contract. United had lowballed, and when the agent told his client to reject the deal, Ferguson lost his rag, telling him "You're a twat." Mino had the last laugh though, taking Pogba to Juventus on a free, where he became the hottest property in the game, and wringing a world record £89 million out of the Red Devils when he returned to Old Trafford in 2016. Raiola earned a £24 million payday from the deal, while Ferguson popped in another stick of chewing gum, having been outplayed for perhaps the only time in his career. 3. Sweden on Neven Kurzawa. In 2014, the French and Swedish under-21 teams faced each other in a playoff to see who would make the following year's European Youth Championships. The French won the first leg 2-0, but went 3-0 down in the second, leaving them on the verge of missing the tournament. Step forward left-back Neven Kurzawa, now of PSG, who popped up in the 87th minute to score an away goal and put France back in the driving seat. The defender, delighted with his strike, ran up to Swedish striker John Guidetti and gave him a salute. Unsurprisingly, the Swedes were pissed and poured forward in search of a fourth. And just 1 minute later they got their reward, with Oscar Levitsky tapping in. Cue salutes all round as France went home in shock. And the humiliation continued the next year, as Sweden managed to win the Euros against all odds, celebrating in their now signature style. 2. Bayern Munich on Neven Subotic. Bayern may be comfortably superior to rivals Dortmund now, but 4 years ago it was a different story. In the 11-12 Bundesliga campaign, Neven Subotic grabbed headlines after he raced over to taunt Arjen Robben when the Dutchman missed a penalty in Der Klassiker. Dortmund won 1-0 and went on to take the league title, while Bayern went on a summer spending spree to regain their supremacy in German football. And in 2013, they had won the league and the DFB Pokal and announced that they would sign BVB's Mario Götze before the rivals met in an all-German Champions League final. This time, Bayern came out on top, as Robben found the net in a 2-1 victory. And as Subotic knelt on the field, devastated at the final whistle, Jerome Boateng took a break from celebrations to go over and scream in his face. Classy work all round, guys. 1. Luis Suarez on Patrice Evra. When we last left Suarez, he was having the piss ripped out of him by Man United, but he and Patrice Evra crossed paths again 3 years on. Suarez joined Barcelona in 2014, while Evra had switched to Juventus, and both men had won the league and domestic cup in their first season. With Juve and Barca vying to complete the treble, they met in the 14-15 Champions League final, and this time the two men did shake hands. The Bianconeri's phenomenal defence struggled against the world's most lethal attack, but eventually cracked, with Barcelona running out 3-1 victors. Suarez netted the Spaniards second, and Barca became the first European club to achieve the treble twice. Evra, meanwhile, became the first player to lose 4 Champions League finals. So while the Frenchman had won the battle, he ended up losing the war.
So there we have it, but what do you guys at home think? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, why don't you click here for loads more great content and down there to subscribe. And as always, guys, we'll catch you later.